Oh, do we hear the gentle life springing of Pixel coming to life from a gentleman way? Oh, I think we do. But we are in a zen place now, where sim racing heaven take place in magical ways. Yes, and yes. Sadly, you are not in Zen world of sim racing, because GRC is dead. Praise sim racing Jesus. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. We have pixel ovals in the sky, everybody. Oh yeah. But sadly, GRC ain't got a home. Now Simon ain't gonna get a tin top. Boner. Welcome to the very last GRC here in the place that it all started, the Brands Hatch Indy circuit, for the very final time. Oh, this is going to be emotional, it's going to be slightly drunk. This is the only way how we can do this, and we are in a qualifying session for what is a unique GRC Season 15 here. My name is Simon Smith, taking you as ever through the action as I have done since way back in the grave, way back in the dawn of time. Oh yeah, and Season 8, Season 9, God knows what. But yeah, there's some people qualifying and stuff, so I suppose we'd better take a look at someone who normally does quite well. We've got 13th position Reinu Muru, who's out on track in the moment in the Ford Focus. I used to do quite well in the Ford back in the day. He's crossing over the line around this very quick brand search, and that's helped me. He's plain plumb last. Poor old Reinu there, a 1:06 and straight off into that tricky turn one. I think if I've got anything that I have to say for that, it would have to be go faster, go faster, go faster, go faster! So Reinu, sadly, 15 seconds off the pace, and it's only a 50-second lap. Makes me look capable. Who else have we got out on track at the moment? Chris Williamson in 26th position is in a bit of traffic. You can see the amount of tyre smoke that's coming out from the back of his Nijo Racing car. Now, Nijo, not necessarily a GRC people, but we are migrating to GPVWC once this has closed down after the unfortunate events. And Chris Williamson goes a superb fourth there, 50.668. Currently, your pole position is set by Matt Richards for Area Stream Motorsports. Is that a typo in the team name? Who knows? Team Corps, Dave Robertson is second. Fantastic. Everyone's favourite Scotsman's. Oscar Hardwick is third at the minute from Chris Williamson and Cameron Brewster in TSA. Scott Benoit is in the sixth position ahead of Matthew Williams, who's just completed his one for TSA Racing. He made his debut in sim racing here. Paul Joseph is eighth, the most experienced GRCer ever. He has had more notches on his race post than, well, I've had hot dinners. And judging by the size of my belly, you can tell he's been chomping away. Timu Toika just crossing the line in 26th position with Simon Melhuish just behind. And it's fantastic to see Simon Melhuish out on track, and he's in 21st. Let's take him round on a lap because he's actually on the track and not doing cameras, everyone. Down into turn one. Let's take him around on this Torrent Motorsports Osiris, running right the way out. Not Toika in the Toika as he comes down to this tricky hairpin in two. You always can take a little bit more speed into there than you think you can because it's uphill. So my advice, go for it. The gravel traps around here are quite naughty, as you can see a little bit of smoke coming out the back rear end of Melhuish's car, and not very often we get to see him out on track because he's always tied up doing cameras with myself and others. Of course, around the Indy circuit, you don't turn off to continue around the rest of the circuit. You've got this weird, awkward final moment, and he's completely missed the apex there. Clearly got some kind of allergy to it. Across the line he comes. Lewis McGlade has just disqualified himself. That was a bit stupid. And Scott Bennett's just left the game. Simon Melhuish across the line, third position. Just 0.051 tenths, thousandths, whatever's behind. And do you know what? That deserves a shake of the maraca. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, he's down to fourth already because Randu Muru, he used to be my teammate back in the day. The Muru brothers back in fashion. Going, Aaron Maspero's just popped into 12th and Stuart Fleming at 11th in the Team Core and Lexus respectively. We've got Tom Jacobs out on the track just doing his qualifying lap in this short session just to basically set the grid for essentially a qualifying race, 15 minutes of high octane action before we then get into the hour final trophy event to close out the evening. What's everyone's thoughts on GRC as Tom Jacobs takes an unusual apex line into that? It's the good thing with this kind of racing though, I'm so excited. It's the final race, everyone! It's going to be car crash TV, I can tell. In a minute I'll be waving my knickers, skidded or otherwise, across the camera. Tom Jacobs just coming out of the final corner. Who was that that's just popped in the time? I think it's got Sovic into 9th. Tom Jacobs remains so close to the barrier there. All temps off though. Matt Richards, a fantastic second, gets a lot of stick for some of his open wheel driving, but clearly knows exactly how to throw around a tin top. Michael Ballard in 21st, just crossing the line now. He pops into 3rd as well. Clearly 3rd place is the place you want to be, as he makes a bit of a dog ears of turn 1. We do have Martin Palm, many a time champion. It took him a while to fend off Borna Spoljaric, but he done it. He done it. And Borna, I've not seen him in here. He was in the chat room. Oh, he's popped into 2nd position. So yes, he's just gone 25 thousandths behind Rando. And Randu Muru never quite had the luck to be a champion, but certainly had the speed to go with it. And it's great to see all these names coming out. I'll definitely go into some kind of memorabilia corner with all of my favourite things. And if you're a GRCer and you've got a thought that you would like to talk about, you are more than welcome, so much more than welcome, to send us a tweet. I am at Satoromon on Twitter, and you can do that. And we've also could do hashtag GRC as well, just to see if you don't actually want to send me anything specifically, just to see what happens. Although, if you do hashtag GRC, someone's talking about governance, risk and compliance. What a boring old twat they are. Ooh, popular on the phone. Oh, that might be someone tweeting, actually. Simon, you should have sorted that one out. Martin Palm then, round the first couple of corners, looking beautiful, as is Ilja Bracalo, who's doing a lap not far behind for triple 20. It's great to see these battles reunited again. Ah, the days, the days. Palm looking beautiful. Nice and steady. The unflappable Swede. Round into the last corner. You can see the slightly more tighter line that he took compared to what we saw with Melhuish earlier on in the qualifying session, and still looking quite juicy. What does this do? Will this get Martin Palm a pole position, or will it not? It does for now. Oh, pole position for Mr. Palm. That was almost Super Bowl-esque there, and that's got him 65 thousandths ahead of Muru and Spoljaric. And you know that that will be a burning end that will keep going. Bracalo's popped into 5th position with all of that. Lee McLaughlin and Philip Morby for TSA. Playseat and Zip, new sidelines, the TSA brand there. Same livery essentially, but just different colour schemes as they go round. Do prefer the purple over the orange, and McLaughlin there doing a return, I think, to GRC, or if not actually making it his first race. Having raced with him, I know this is dirty word, on a PlayStation 3. Lee tanked the rest of us on the TSA stuff, which is, I'm really sorry everyone, I got TSA involved in sim racing, but they're here to stay now, so sod the lot of you. And oh yeah, friends, fun. Here they come, Morby and McLaughlin out of the final corner. Morby, a games developer nonetheless, got some mobile games going. He pops into 14th, he'll be pleased with that. McLaughlin into 5th, though looking much more feisty. So currently the top 5 with a few minutes to go is Palm Muru of the Rando variety. Paul Spoljaric, Michael Ballard and Lee McLaughlin, with Bacalo, Richards, Jacobs, Robertson and Melhuish rounding out the top 10. He should have kicked out from behind the cameras and went racing a wee bit earlier, I feel. So, cameraman extraordinaire in replacement, Brittany himself, Mr. Redshaw. What's that? I don't know. Maybe we should do a what's up? Oh, made me swallow. I just knew that something was coming up there. So it's just two drivers left to go. Stop hogging the session. I used to do this in the hope that I could get some kind of camera. I knew I wouldn't be able to get on the cameras for actual skill, unless it was for crashing in an epic fashion. I could do that quite well. I would save my qualifyings till the very end. Although, having said that, GRC, the Touring Car League, is the only real proper sim racing league I've ever led a lap in. May have only been one. May have been because almost everyone else pit stopped. La 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 la. But it was a lovely day for me in the world. I was in the lead. Oh, I was in the lead. And then Jenny Anderson pushed me off. Female drivers. Not bitter. Neil Wood. The Speedway for scoliosis? I so hope that that is a skin disease. Not psoriasis. Anyway, Neil Wood out on track in his BMW. My mum said that BMWs were black men's willies. Would I have, you know, trivia of the world? In fact, the drunker I get, the more we'll go into that story a little bit later. But Neil Wood looking mighty fine, keeping his rear end very much in check. I do like to make sure that that does happen. Crossing the line, taking a tight line in, but only 22nd, 1.5 seconds off pole position in 22nd position. That is crazy tight. Tighter than Virgins. Only Ben Walters, Andy Griffith and Rainu Muru are off the pace from that one. Joshua Anderson is still not actually he's coming out onto the track now, but he doesn't. Oh no, he's just got into the garage. I wonder if he's loaded a setup wrongly or something. He's quickly diving to redo it. But the Cosmo Autosport car is the only one left with 5 minutes left to go in the qualifying session. I do hope that he doesn't leave it until the very last second. And got some tweets coming through. If you can't tell, my phone. Oh, can I xylophone that? Not really. Christopher Metuiz, who has been such a little man who... he's not been such a little man at all. Hang on, should we have some more beer? Yeah. Cheers, everyone. He has been such an awesome person from the chat room. Kamikaze. He just tweeted, I'm Kamikaze. I knew. And the reason for that was because we was talking, I used to call you Kamui Kamikaze. He's a wealth of knowledge. If anyone could swim in sim racing, it would be Christopher. But he has been fantastico. And always a supporter in the chat rooms. And I do miss the old chat rooms from the old seasons. As Joshua Anderson finally takes to the track with 4 minutes to go in his Ford Focus, Cosmo Autosport. I think this may be him making his debut. Bit late now, really, Josh. League's closing. Last orders, sling your hook. But, to be honest, you can all come over. Because although we are closing this league, which is so unfortunate, and this is why I have to be drunk to get through this broadcast, that actually we are... Who the hell? We'll come to that tweet in a smidge. We're moving to ITC. Almost a TV channel, not quite. will be joining over at GPVWC for ITC, and you can join me. Oh, I can rhyme all the time. Joshua Anderson then coming around to start his qualification lap for the last ever qualification lap GPVWC. Ah, shots for lasts. Shots for last. Is there someone else kicking about out there as well? Oh, for GRC, sorry. But yes, for GRC, sorry. I've already transitioned. League. Oh, not quite the racing line there, Josh. Nice try. Nice try. Here, have a penny farthing. Have a Werther's Originals and be touched up by a grandpa. It's all good. Ran to the last corner. And he's got my kind of line. You see the apex and you go, no, I know better. I always feel that if you have to drive bad, you have to know how to drive good and then completely avoid it. So therefore I am slightly better than everyone. 4 seconds off of pole then. Joshua Anderson completes the last ever GRC event. And do you know what? It's shots for lasts. So I'm having one. Chin chin. Ah. Ooh. What was that? It was vinegar. No wonder it tasted gross. Okay. So, what we got? Martin Palm then taking the last ever pole position. So, I don't think I've got a Swedish instrument. So, we'll just have a Martin Palm. Doesn't do any harm unless he's going backwards to you in a hairpin, and your name is Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Moving on. So, Lewis McGlade, I'm getting good at this prediction, Mark. He did say he was going to qualify last. Did feel that you had to go and disqualify yourself in order to do so, because who was it that was... It was Rainu Murray, who was 16 seconds off pole whilst he went tootle in the belt. These as well as V8 Supercars, as Christian Matthews. I do feel that the hashtag GRC is being slightly eaten up by someone called Global Rallycross. I don't care what's going on Charlotte Speedway. Do you see what we've got here? We do left turns and right turns. Wow! Concept. Boom. Out. So, the warm-up, obviously everyone's deciding that actually, let's just bin it for the fun. Palm's already binning it. You've got to learn where these kind of things are going on. So, with GRC, I think it's high time that we do some stats, because obviously the control's going to go. Martin Palm is considered the top world-ranked driver. God knows how these ranks were ever done, because I was about 74th once. Dizzy heights. From Bonus Boliak, Emmanuel Gaxella, who was planning to be here actually, from what I saw. And he's not here. Then Paul Joseph, who is the most experienced man out there. Do you want to be experienced? So that's some kind of song that goes on. Who's done the most races? Paul Joseph, 550. Then Martin Palm has got 448. Alex Sorchuk, our admin, who has been busy traipsing around the world like some kind of filthy trollop for the last year or so. He's got 315. Mike Wrightson, where are you, Mike? These names. Rainer Murray, here. Ivan Iglesias, where is the ice cream man? Mr. Meluish, despite doing cameras for his entire life, got 245 because of all the cups that we used to do here. And Gaxella, Jan Hack, the Hack Attack, where's he gone? And Bonus Bolaric is in 10. Where am I? Aid Randall. Aid was going to be here this evening, but I don't think he was able to get his R Factor going, so that's a shame. And a big shout out to my teammates, the Backmarker Brigade duo, Paul Huggett, wherever you are, mate, I hope you are having a damn good beer. Same for Gary Gray, who I still believe has a Facebook photo that he's still drinking the same beer that he has been all that time along. Now, Neil Wood, I believe that team is just answering it on air. Let me just pop here. There is some finned raising. You could be finned raising, but I feel that you should go to Southend for that and just go fishing. He's doing some fundraising for scoliosis. Answers on a postcard, whatever that charity is. I'm sure it's fantastic, but we will give you big ups for that. Do love a little bit of charity work with sim racing. It goes a long way. Backmarker Brigade, did you know that for seasons 8, 9 and 10, when we actually had paid sponsorship, we used to put it towards the MAP charity, which is for giving money to places that were having disaster relief, because they are the highest converting charity that you would be able to send your money to. Did you know that a charity can be called a charity even if it only actually pays 65% of the money you give to the charity, just a charitable cause? So things like Oxfam, that's why they spunk loads of money on their TV broadcasts, and that's why I refuse to give to them. So when they're standing at the door looking all needy, I just think, no, get lost. Do you know what you can do? You can bang my gong. You're all wondering what instrument's going to come out next, aren't you? Might as well one of those Tibetan monk singing bowls. Don't have one of those. So yes, Speedway for SFS. Well, that's, oh no, I can't abbreviate to that. Everyone will go and buy a sofa. Donate to charity. Donate to charity. We do need a better hashtag. Let's go for... Oh, Christopher. Boo. Anyway. Warm-up's done.
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
All essential personnel leave the grid now for the last sprint race for GPVWC. No, it's not. GRC. Mummy. Simon has got a little bit of amnesia. And is a little bit special. Maybe I need some of my... Hom-nini, don't crash into turn one. No! Right. Formation map, let's go through the grid. Less of this funny antics. Let's actually do a little bit of commentary instead of just getting missed on air. Martin Palm in pole position for Torrent Motorsports. Lead us round in the final. Shots for finals. Pole position of a sprint race. I will break these down to ensure that I do have good alcohol consumption. Randy Muro alongside for BMW. Still not a BMB driver through and through. Naughty Randu. Bonus Boliaric third for Triple 20 RT. Not Torrent. Disgusting. Michael Ballard fourth in a Ford. Lee McLaughlin fifth in the top TSA in the play seat. Ilja Bacalo sixth for Triple 20. Matt Richards seventh for Araya Stream Motorsports. Tom Jacobs eighth for TSA. 9 Dave Robertson for Team Core. Where's the orange? 10 for Torrent Osiris. 11 Oscar Hardley. Chris Williamson 12 Dizzy Heights. 13 Cameron Brewster for TSA. Scott Bennett 14th in the Ford. That won't last long. Matthew Williams in 15 for TSA Zip. Teammate Philip Morby alongside 16. Scott Sovic 17 for Araya. Paul Joseph in the only Union 18. Team Core Fleming 19. Aaron Maspero 20th in the Lexus. James Kirk 21st for TSA. Team Bitoika 22nd for Ford. Neil Wood 23rd for his charity driven car. Ben Walters for Aurora. He's in 24 for Lexus. Andy Griffith 25 for Ford, and he's not mucked up on his grid spot. Joshua Anderson is 26. Rainer Muro is 27. Lewis McGlade 28, and joining on the back without qualifying, Matthew Allington and Miles Dixon to take up the last position on the fast ever sprint race for GRC Indy brands. We are racing. 15 minutes of high-octane action. Palm really lights up the rear. Spotty Ag's got a perfect getaway. He's going to go steaming down the middle for the inside for turn 1, gets it from Palm, Muru, McLaughlin, Richards, Bricalo, Ballard's down to 7, and they all safely through. Richards runs out wide, as does Williamson, but they are all through nicely for turn 1. It's turn 2 where they have to brake though, and they're 3-4 abreast further back, looking nice though, because no one is taking each other out. Perfect stuff there for the last sprint race for GRC. Spoljaric then leads, Palm is second, but Muru is looking alongside, a bit feisty from the European driver, forgotten where they come from. Richards runs out wide in 5th position, obviously daunted by the fact that he's so high up. Everyone else going through quite nicely, playing nicely, apart from James Kirk getting a little bit of a nudge from McGlade from behind. Then Spoljaric then completes lap 1 in the lead, Palm very much there or thereabouts in second. Then it's Murray, McLaughlin, Richards, Bricalo, Hardwick, Ballard, Jacobs, Melliwish, Williams. Brewster's just taken Robertson for 12th and 13th into turn 1. Sovic, Williamson, Bennett, Fleming, Morby, Kirk and McGlady are 20 scorers, and it's all changed as they come down to turn 2. McGlade goes round the outside of Kirk for 19th and 20th, then gets a tag slapper on and loses it. Sparrow fancies that. That looks like Timu Toika off the track, but he's rejoined in 25th position and has then promptly smacked Reinu Muru, who's trying to get up the field. He'll be one to watch, already up to 24th from 29th on the grid, so beautiful stuff. Up the front though, Spoljaric and Palm side by side. Torrent Motorsport versus Triple 20. He's the defect. He defected from Torrent to Triple 20. This is rival. This is blood. As they come down to turn 1, Palm gets a little bit wonky on the entry, but speeds through to take the lead. Beautiful action there by Palm. Spoljaric to second. Bricalo's got round Richards for 5 and 6. Richards gets a tag slapper on. Is he going to stop for turn 2? Runs out so wide. Through goes Hardwick up into 6th position. Beautiful move. Ballard is through 2 into 7. Beautiful stuff. Look at Melliwish. Racing feisty one we are. Round the outside of Jacobs like some kind of filthy thing. And the TSA driver down to 10 ahead of Williams and Brewster, who are battling, even though they're TSA teammates, to take each other out now, boys. Otherwise you won't start the new league in happy fashion. Oh, you plenty of smoke down to that final corner. Always find that such a fierce braking. And already Neil Wood is down to last 21 seconds off, so he's been off the track somewhere. The top 3 still nose to tail as we start lap 3 of however many it's going to be, probably about 16, 17. Spoljaric goes through on Palm again, who runs out so wide. Excellent showmanship by these two. They know each other inside and out, and that came to a kind of little mini contretemps when they took each other out in the championship battle last season. Much debate over that, and they just haven't raced together properly since, I don't think. Murray keeping a watching brief in 3rd. McLaughlin up to 4, but he's not quite keeping up because he is doing a dodgy exit, and that's going to allow Bricalo through. Surely much earlier planted on the power, and McLaughlin doesn't even fight that. It's pushed out wide. The problem with that is you just lose so much time because you're taking a much longer train around there, and that's going to allow Hardwick to get up onto the back for 6th position. Still Spoljaric, Palm, Muru, Bricalo, McLaughlin, Hardwick, Ballard, Richards, Jacobs and Melliwish now the top 10. Those two have swapped round. Jacobs back through again. Williams, Brewster. Brewster goes past Williams for 11th and 12th position. Useful move there. Williams trying to get back on the inside for the next corner. He can do it, but he just didn't have the traction. And sadly, that has dropped him back. Sovic into 13th. That's good stuff there from the Uriah driver. Then Robertson, the top of the team cores, and he's in a team core mini sandwich there with Bennett and Morby behind. Morby's dropped back slightly from his teammate. Kirk having a go at Fleming, don't smack him there. No, 17-18, they stay like that for now, although that's someone off, that's Palm. Palm is off and down to 4th position. And through goes McLaughlin, Hardwick, 3 wide as they start lap 5. That's never going to end well. Spoljaric, Muru and Bricalo go through as a top 3. Palm, is he going to try and hang around the outside? That would be an amazing recovery move. Look at that. I tell you what, that Swede has got some serious IKEA meatballs hanging off the bottom of him, because that was ballsy move. That was up into 4th. Is he going to hold it? Hardwick clings on round the outside, but sadly the Englishman can't quite hold off the Torrent Motorsport driver. Now 3 seconds off the lead. There's still time to reel it in if you can. It's so close as the field. It's going to involve trying to get back up onto the slipstream, although Bricalo could be his ally in disguise, because he's now hounding the back of Muru for 1st, 2nd and 3rd. Bricalo taking a little mini watch. What's he going to do? not a lot. Spoliaric heavy on the brakes down into 1. As they start another lap, then it's Palm, Hardwick, McLaughlin regaining potential shootage angle. As Hardwick takes a little nose down into 2. He's always going to be the one that will try and stick it up there. So I've heard. Then it's Ballard's got a massive train behind him of Richards, Jacobs and Melhuish behind. Then it's all changed as Matthew Williams gets past Brewster, who's out of position. Sovic's going to go around the outside for 12th. Beautiful move there by Scott. Brewster down to 13th. He ran wide in turn 2 and lost 2 positions in one fell swoop. Fleming's now up to 16th as a result of someone else that went off. And who was that went off? It was Reinu Muru in that Ford. He'd got himself up to 16th and then he's out. Andy Griffith has just crashed out from 30th position. So he's our first retirement here this evening for GRC. There's Palm still holding on to full. Spoliaric taking such a wide line around turn 1. You've got to be careful because that curb can spit you off. As McLaughlin develops a rash to the racing line for turn 2. That won't help him out at all. Ballard's still got Richards, Jacobs and Melhuish behind. Great to see my cameraman out there giving it some welly in the last GRC race. He's done so much work as an admin and people need to take their hats off to him. It's such a difficult job. You're faced with it. You've just got to get it on down. He's having a good old hassle there. Tom Jacobs, who's well known in the open wheeler world, to get himself very well known onto the back of Matt Richards' rear wing, but Melhuish has already got well acquainted with Jacobs's. How are they going to enter down into turn 1? Plenty of smoke going off up ahead, but they're all exiting the corner the same way they came in. Melhuish, I think, is going to have a stab down into turn 2. He's got a beautiful run out of 1. Jacobs is boxed in because Richards is so close up ahead. Steaming through he goes. Can he get the car stopped? He's completely spun through the apex there. And that's going to be very angular for turn 3. Can he do it? He's sticking it in regardless anyway. I can almost hear Melhuish going, ah, in his little characteristic manner. Up into 9th position. I think he'll be delighted if he can hold on to that. Jacobs down to 10 then. Williams, Brewster, Sovic, Morby, Robertson, Fleming. So Robertson's lost out to Philip Morby for 14th and 15th position off our screens. Fleming is still ahead of Kirk. They're battling hard with Scott Bennett and Chris Williamson behind. Williamson's really lost out actually down to 19th. He must have been in trouble off the screen. Paul Joseph's in 22nd behind Prospero and Muru. Then it's Toyka, who's further back. Then it's a gap back to Aidington, Walters, McGlade, Wood, Anderson and Miles Dixon plodding round at the back. Actually, Miles Dixon's only 8 seconds away from being lapped. So, we did say traffic will come into play, mainly when it gets into the big feature event, but such is the breadth of field and the shortness of track, that kind of field spread is expected to happen anyway. So you're going to struggle to not have anything but as Melhuish has a go at Matt Richards. Matt Richards gives him so much room. I could shove a fatty up there and still have room for another one. And up the inside he goes. He's got that before they even get to turn 1. Matt Richards gets into the slipstream. He's practically pushing Melhuish down the straight. He's going to do one of those stick it in late. Can he? Ooh, he backs out of it just in time. Melhuish takes the race. Oh my goodness me, a smash! McLaughlin was spun round on the racing line. Jacobs has lost his front bumper. He's got a puncture there. I can see the sparks flying off. What a shame. Melhuish involved in that too. After all that hard work, and that was McLaughlin was round. Melhuish went off of his own accord. He'd kind of wailed out wide, but it was Jacobs who really got caught in that one, along with the unfortunate McLaughlin. They're both kind of plodding round. McLaughlin's on the grass. As look at the midfield streaming through there. That's for great lower end points. We might have to catch up with that one as Thomas Jacobs is spinning round trying to get back home. And look at that 12th position he will be, sorry, 13th position he is now. Stuart Fleming, he has got, well, the entire cold train behind him. No one wants to cough up the phlegm for 13th position. It's just change up ahead. That is Dave Robertson getting around Melhuish for 11th and 12th. Scott Fleming, look at Scott Bennett through on 14th position and James Kirk, a snifty move, and I'm actually running on delay, so apologies that I'm running a wee bit behind. And back up with the action now, la la la. And look at that, Bennett versus Kirk, side by side once again. Oh dear, Chris Williamson getting his little snouty nose in too. Fantastic stuff here. All points down to 20th position. Don't forget, which is currently held by Timu. apologies that my commentary was 16 seconds behind what was actually going on in the world. A bit like the story of my 1 lap pace, that. Never mind. So, Fleming up to 12. Robinson and Miller, which very much within streaking distance. Kirk now ahead of Williams. Sparrow. Joseph about to join onto the back of this little shindig too. Williamson's the one that's having a go. He's not got it. Bennett runs out very wide and Kirk fancying maybe half a stab into 2. Oh, that's Matthew Allington off the track. And that's him down to 27. The fun thing I will say is that these gravel traps are real gravel traps. When you're in them, you're bloody stuck, mate. It will take you a while to get out. He's putting the power in. He's done it though. He's back out in 27th position. That would do nicely just ahead of Matt Richards, who is 3 laps down. And he's still in the gravel down at turn 1. Still trying to get out, but there's smoke coming out the back of his car. So he'll be the 3rd retirement when that blows up, to join Billy McLaughlin and Andy Griffith as your retirements. Run through of the order then, because we're on minute 12 of 15. Borna Spoljaric leads by 1.5 seconds from Ranjan Muru. Martin Palm still very much there, and thereabouts. A couple of seconds back to Oscar Hardwick. Then Ilja Picalo 5. Michael Ballard is 6. Then it's Cameron Brewster in 7, who's got Tom Jacobs, his teammate, that needs to get out of the way and be lapped. Indeed he does. Then it's Matthew Williams in 8. Philip Morby 9, so a TSA 789. Surely that's a step song in the making. Scott Sovic rounds out the top 10, beautiful for him. Meluish now 11, ahead of Dave Roberts, who's really in trouble and suddenly got teammate Stuart Fleming behind. Battle of the Scottish. Flag your kilts, and look, Dave Robertson, just no traction under braking at all. Through steams Fleming, and behind that looks like Maspero's getting round Kirk. Indeed he is, up to 15th position. Aaron Maspero, he's not 41 years old. That's his chest measurement. So it's got to be laws of physics. Through they go. Stream of cars and Maspero straight onto the back of the hounding Bennett. Quite able to do so. Team cause 12-13, Bennett 14, Maspero 15, Kirk 16. Radio Muru, who I really thought would progress up this field a little bit easier, still in 16th position. Someone's well off the track there, didn't quite see who that was. Oh, Joshua Anderson is off the track as well in 26th position. He's just getting out of the way of everyone. Sometimes that's the best, just to abandon all hope and kamikaze off somewhere. Lap 15 we are completing onto minute 14 of 15, so we get 2 more laps to go. This Brands Indy circuit provides action all the way through. Morby and Sovic battling over 9th and 10th position, having a go. And look at this, Bennett 14th position, 3 wide into turn 2. Maspero and Kirk, those 3 inseparable. It's like they've gone on some kind of freak blind date or something. They just want to nabble at each other's heels. Fantastic action. They've not smacked each other. It's been so clean, and that's the beauty of GRC. Gentlemen's racing by name, gentlemen's racing by nature, and it's great to see that actually we've really not had much in the way of carnage apart from that one spin that caused problems earlier on. Everyone else pretty much spot on. Let's take a look at this beautiful battle as they come back across the line. Fleming still ahead of Robertson, who appears to have now gained back speed again. Bennett much quicker though through that turn as Joshua Anderson is in the gravel again down at turn 1. Bennett's going to go for the outside. Robertson defends. Can he hold on around the outside and have the inside for turn 3? Robertson leaning heavily. Bennett takes all of the road and a smidgy bit more. That's just like a fatty in one of those Willy Wonka shops. But through he goes up into 13th position. He'll join that quite happily. Robertson down to 14, and look at that, Maspero and Kirk side by side, 15 and 16. Kirk, that's going to be leading. No, he puts him behind. Oh, and round goes the team core driver. Oh no, it's Bennett. It's Bennett's round. Oh, dearie me. That is not a cool guy move, and he's lost his front bumper as well. So big accident there for Benoit. Still going in 19th position ahead of Lewis McLeod, who currently holds 20th. Whilst Walters and Woods battle for the hope of what could be. Back up front, there's problems for Spoljaric. Muru and Palm not overtaking each other, working together, but the time has hit. The time has hit 15 minutes. They've left the charge too late. Borna Spoljaric takes the win for the sprint race. Half a second ahead of Randu Muru. Martin Palmer further 2 attempts back. Beautiful move there. There's Dixon and Anderson stuck in the gravel. Oscar Hardwick takes an excellent 4th ahead of Ilge Bacalo of Fab 5. Cameron Brewster will be delighted with 6. Michael Ballard on debut 7th position or return. He might be an oldie. Matthew Williams 8. Philip Morby 9. And Simon Melhuish, a top 10 finish. He'll be well pleased with that. Scott Sovic 11. Dave Robertson 12. Does win out on all of that ahead of Alan Maspero. Poor Stuart Fleming, who stayed at the head of that battle for so long, ends up 14th ahead of James Kirk 15. Paul Joseph comes home 16, so there's been a last minute drama. Timu Toika's in 17th, Chris Williamson is 18, Scott Bennett gets across the line 19, Lewis McGlade the final point if points are given for this race 20th, Neil Wood 21st and the last unlapped runner. Thomas Jacobs 1 lap down 22nd, Randu Muru 23rd, Ben Walters binned it on the last lap 24th. Miles Dixon is just coming home now in 25th position, 2 laps adrift. Matthew Allington is already retired in 26th position. He crashed out, or no, actually it looks like he just disconnected on the last lap. Joshua Anderson has got himself out of the gravel and in doing so has now just blown his engine, so he'll just be 27th with suspension failure. And your other 3 retirements, Lee McLaughlin, Matt Richards and Andy Griffith. That's how we do GRC, everyone. Jiminy Crickets. Apologies for my commentary dramas there, for running a wee bit behind. So what that does is that race will form the grid for our feature race, which is an hour long. So 90 minutes shorter than the trophy races of previous. But then we didn't get a sprint race for that. Treat you to everything. Spoil you like a prince, we do. Ah, you want to see Zen in the world? I swear I've never had so many do on my phone's evers. Cameraman Mr. Redshaw. Ah, Franklin Smith's last hurrah. I don't think it will be our last. First of many.
Hope so.
Because what's going to happen is that Melhuish, now having a top 10 position, will abandon being Mr. Cameraman Extraordinaire and be like, after all these years of pretending that I have no talent, it was just like, I don't know, someone who's got webbed hands trying to open a baked beans tin. Eventually you just get the knack of it.
I've never tried, mate.
Anyone that's got webbed hands, tweet us in. Tell us, is this a problem?
Hashtag GRC.
Hashtag Weber. So, I think we need a wee thought for a second, because I have to say that my heart is beating quite fast.
May I just ask, Simon, how many instruments do you actually have?
Oh, actually, that is a good point. Let's just not go off on a musical hurrah. How many instruments do I have? Well, I think I could. Can't really call that an instrument. It's a big pink tube. Oh, I tell you what I do. When I first got into my musical instruments, not the other instruments, that's for another show. Then, well, I kind of, you know, when you've done music in primary school and you've got things like the triangle, and this is called the agogo, where you've got like the.
Oh yeah.
travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went for those kind of instruments, and I thought, well, we can't really make any music out of that. You just sound like an idiot. So then I went and bought some expensive instruments, and sounded like an idiot. So now I just resort to bringing them out on broadcasts and just annoying everyone to high heaven with them.
You didn't buy these instruments just for broadcast, did you?
I didn't buy these instruments just for broadcast. So you going out on air, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh, Fabaroo. That's alright. Otherwise it just feels like some kind of... I'm so used to having a one-way conversation because Monsieur Melhuish never goes out on air because he says to me, "Oh, Simon, with this garlic mayonnaise, you are amazing. With my hatred of Magnicor, I say Oscar Hardwick is a whore."
I just don't know where you get it from.
Something like that.
He says it all the time.
Yeah, but he never says it on the broadcast. He has the habit of saying the funniest stuff in your ear on whisper, and I have to continue regardless. It's a hard life being a commentator.
Oh.
It's a hard
Sure it
life.
is.
It's a hard life. So hard, in fact. I think.
No.
It's a problem with keyboards. You never quite get a decent, like, hard life. Oh no! How's that a cello?
It wasn't very cello-y, was it?
No. So, have you got a new single coming out then, Brittany?
If I do, you'll be the first to know, I can guarantee it. Might get you to write me one.
Oh,
And I'll
well.
sing it if I ever get a podium.
I know plenty of songs about plenty of drivers.
Oh,
Oh yes. Especially. Let's see. Timu Toika has a connection issue. Every time someone gets near him, he disconnects. Or so you think so. 'Cause actually he's in a server. But he's gonna come back and get ya. Invisible car. Everyone in sim racing has been twiked.
I haven't actually.
What?
I know.
You haven't lived.
I know, I'm waiting for it to happen. It's going to be quite a prestigious moment.
And when you do, you will be in a state of zen in the world. Because actually, when you have been twiked, you never go back. Bit like threesomes with lesbians, though I've heard.
Yeah, have you got experience in that as well?
Kind of.
Oh, okay, maybe we shouldn't go into this.
Well,
I suppose
All
this is
I'm-
the last one. What are they going to do? Take us off the air?
exactly. What was we? Was it on the air? No, it wasn't on the air. Where we were saying actually that you could sniff and poo yourself. Not sniff. You would sneeze and poo yourself.
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
Something like that.
Don't mention their name.
Oh no. So for the final time, it's good segue into a completely different topic. Whenever someone says that it comes out of both ends, I'm just haunted by a meet-up that I had with someone in Southend where, yeah.
I think we get it.
You ever tried to drive up a tunnel and there's just a 10-ton truck sitting there thinking, I won't let you through. And then it reverses back. That's all I'm saying. So for the final time of asking, we are... Oh, shots for last.
I haven't got any.
Well, I'm so sorry, Monsieur Extraordinaire. Bonus Boliaric then leads us round for the last time for pole position for Triple 20. Murrow's alongside of Randu Variety. Then it's Palm and Hardwick, Bracalo and Brewster, Ballard and Williams, Morby and Melhuish, rounding out your mighty top 10. No dreams now, only tears. It is the final time of asking. It's going to be a sad one. Gotzovic is 11 ahead of Dave Robertson, then Amron Maspero and Stuart Fleming. James Kirk is in 15 ahead of Paul Joseph, then Timu Toika and Chris Williams. Scott Bennett and Lewis McGlade round out the top 20. Then Neil Wood in his Speedway for Scoliosis, which now having read it actually does read properly. I'm so sorry for abusing everyone who's got whatever disability they poor unfortunate souls have. Unfortunately, we are raising money for you, and I hope that that comes out in tons of stuff, and we'll try and get Neil to tell us the link of that later. Then, Miles Dixon's lost connection. Then it's Murray, Walters, Allington, Anderson, McLaughlin, Richards and Griffith. 29 starters because we've already lost Miles Dixon, and I don't think Joshua Anderson has lined up in the right grid box. He has now. Here come the lights for the last time ever on GRC. We are racing, and Spoliaric gets away not too badly until Palm much better. It's that third grid spot that has better traction out of it than Pole. Spoliaric has not made a ham fist of it. Lots of smoke coming up as they come down towards turn 1. How are we going for the last time ever? Beautiful. Everyone through and everyone out okay. Just one of the Auroras running out wide there. I think that was Ben Walters. Everyone down into turn 2 and again looking nicely. Toika's the one that's run out wide. Matthew Addington is disconnected again for the second time, and Andy Griffith is off the track and rejoining back in 28th. So they're all back going again now. But 2 retirements out already, and Spoliaric leads from Palm, Hardwick, Murray, Bracalo, Williams, Brewster, Ballard and Morby. Plenty of smoke as they all try and jockey for that final position. You've got to have such good traction out there, otherwise you're going to be mugged like a moose down the home straight down into turn 1. It looks like everyone has survived as they cross the line. Spoliaric much heavier on his inside right tyres into turn 1. Palm well clear, then it's Hardwick who's run out wide, and Murray's going to have a go at him down to turn 2, surely for third position. Hardwick gives him the space behind. Bracalo's having a go at Matthew Williams as well. Oscar goes well off there. That was almost like he ping-ponged off the side. Murray closes the door, but that's dropped him right off the back of the leading 2. Bracalo, Williams and Brewster, 5, 6, 7, all battling together. Triple 20 TSA. Then it's Ballard, Morby and Sovic with Maspero, with Melhuish behind there. So they've already made a break from Maspero and Kirk. Changes of position though as Morby goes past Ballard for 8th and 9th. Ballard tries to hold him around the outside, and up ahead Williams and Brewster side by side too. Let's see as they cross the line to start lap 3. Remember, it's 1 hour timed, and is that... No, that's everyone going through okay, just about, but it is Williams ahead of Brewster, Ballard ahead of Morby, so they kind of rejoined as you were. Someone went off into the gravel slightly there. Who was it as Melhuish gets round Scott Sovic? It may have been Sovic that ran out wide. Maspero's gone round Kirk. Robertson having a go at Kirk as well for 13th and 14th, but they've stayed as they are. The track it's Ben Williams in 27th place, and Andy Griffith in 28th is in the gravel again. Not a happy end to his GRC career, Andy Griffith. That is so beached. Do you know what? I wouldn't even bloody bother, mate. Go watch Shark. Boo? No, I'm still chatting away. Hopefully you can hear me now. We're back again now. Apologies for any technical problems, but it is still Spoliaric from Palm. 2 seconds clear from Muru, who's for the first time has actually beaten into the lead by a 10th of a second. Hardwick is in 4. They're pulling away from Bracalo, Williams and Ballard. And it's Simon Melhuish in 8th position having a go with Morby side by side. That's not normally an overtaking move. Looking a little bit ragged as they come through the apex. Warby's going to go in deep though, and that's where Melhuish can very much get the advantage on the exit if he can get it. Warby squeezes him across to take the line regardless of where Melhuish's nose was. But I don't think Simon's going to take that one lightly. They're going to go through turn 1, 2 or 3 wide. It's going to be close. Look at Brewster having to go 2. Morby stings it through. Melhuish is going for the exit round into turn 2. Brewster runs off onto the grass as well, which will leave him problematical. Morby cuts across. A little bit cheeky there. Melhuish keeps the racing line. They're leaning on each other quite heavily. Melhuish has now got to the position, but Morby will brake late and take it into turn 3. And I think Melhuish is playing the long game, but ooh, Morby. That is questionable blocking there by the Morbster. As Spoljarich's off the track. Is he out? Is he out? That's bizarre. He's pulling. Yeah, he's pulling off. What is he doing? Oh, he's just stopped. Has he forgot to fuel? That is bizarre. Borna Spoljarich out of the race. He's down in 25th position at the moment. Joshua Anderson's crashed out. Andy Griffiths has retired. Borna Spoljarich is retirement number 3. Oh my god, I wonder if he's run out of fuel because that car just ground to a conk. No, he's back! What did he do? Go for a piss? Who knows? Jesus, oh no, ooh, downhill. No, into the pits. I don't know what's happened to Spoljarich, but this has utterly changed the face of the race. Chris Williamson's in the gravel in 25th position for Nijo. That'll be a real shame if that ends up being his race over. The secret to getting out of the gravel round this racetrack, as Palm leads by 2 seconds again, is to do little throttle movements but often, because it's like, I don't know, it's like cracking a pepper mill is how I can best describe it.
Right.
As Muru and Hardwick continue on for 2nd and 3rd position, Spoljarich has retired as a DNF. Bizarre. Hardwick and Muru side by side for 2 and 3. Hardwick tapped Muru's rear. That's not a move that he should be doing at his age, possibly illegal. Muru round the outside. Beautiful stuff there by Hardwick, but that was all done by a little bit of a love nudge beforehand, and I think Muru will be the kind of person that may want to repay that next time round. Spoljarich, oh, limiter stuck on. Pit limiter got stuck. What a shame for Borna. Oh dear. Such an illustrious GRC career, such an illustrious career in sim racing in general. Real shame to see him sign off with a technical fault. Melhuish is up to 8th at the moment. He's got around Cameron Brewster and is still ducked behind Morby. Michael Ballard there, run out wide into turn 1, but still managed to keep it from Williams. So the order so far then, it's Martin Palm leading by 2.3 seconds from Hardwick, Muru is 3rd, Bacalo 4, closing them down actually, then Ballard 5, Williams 6, Morby 7, Melhuish 8, Brewster 9, he's trying to go back on Melhuish, not getting any traction there. Gotsovic is in 10th position, and look at this for 11, Maspero, Muru and Kirk. Renu Muru, I said that he was out of position throughout race 1 because he went up the track, didn't he, and had to retake all the positions again, didn't get very far. He's still behind the guys that he started with Maspero and Kirk, but they've slowly picked off the people who have had trouble. Tom Jacobs is behind there as well. Those people you'd expect to be battling a smidgy bit higher up the order. Just come trickling down into 1. Philip Morby's run out wide as well, so I'm just keeping a little eye on that for 7, 8 and 9 as Brewster gets it all wrong. And yeah, Morby, his defending is being a little bit on the edge, if not beyond of what is normally acceptable, as Muru runs out wide, and that's going to allow Tom Jacobs through. Indeed it does, behind the team Corgio for 15 and 16. Fleming and Robertson, don't take your teammate out. Oh, Dave does well, but that's going to allow Matt Richards through. Matt Richards out of position in that Arroyo Stream Motorsports car. Remember, he qualified in the top 5, going round the outside of Roberts. That'll be a brave move if he manages that. Doesn't quite do so, runs out wide, but Robertson clambers all over the curbs on the exit. Looks a little bit like a hungry hippo on exit. Through goes Matt Richards up into 16th position. Beautiful move there by him. Robertson not being able to get in a slipstream either because he's worrying about Paul Joseph, the man who has done more races than anyone else in GRC. Down in 18th position at the minute. Neil Woods 19, McGlade 20th ahead of Bennett, Toyka, McLaughlin, Walters, Williamson. Did get back going again, 25th position, 2 laps down. It'll be great to see him finish. We're down to 25 runners and riders then. Your retirements: Matthew Allington, Andy Griffith, Joshua Anderson and Paul Spogliaric, shame there for Andy not to get a thing there, and that's someone doing a change of position. It's Melowish off. Oh, cameraman extraordinaire there. That must have been contact with Cameron Brewster, both going down the order. Scott Sovic thinks Christmas came all at once. He's up to 8th position, looking rather nifty. And Brewster into 9, Melowish down to 10. Now look at James Kirk in 11. He's got a trail behind him with Jacobs, Maspero and Muru. Plenty of smoke as they come down into turn 1. Has everyone got through all right? Yes, they have. But look at that. Skovic automatically under attack from Cameron Brewster, and he jives out of their way. Come on, guys. I tell you what, that curve is probably pregnant by the time those guys are finished with that. They're properly all over it. And they've run out so wide, and Sovic gets through, and that's going to allow Melowish through to Brewster, the Bowser, down to 10th position. Not grand for him. Cameraman extraordinaire up to 9. Monsieur Sovic into, oh my goodness me, that was a 4-wheel drift. Impressive, practically making me a little bit wet, but unfortunately not really the fastest way to get round that corner. Has managed to get away with it though, because Brewster and Melowish are so busy doing tit for tat with at God knows how many kph. Down into turn 1, Melowish brakes early because that was going to be an ever-closing door, and they get away from it. Look at Brewster, look at how much traction he gets out of the exit of that turn 1 and 2. Sovic again pushed out very wide. Look at Kirk and Jacobs side by side for 11 and 12 behind, all kicking off in the midfield. No changes up on the top so far. I'll keep you up to date with that as it does. And Kirk goes through on Jacobs for 11th position. He'll say take that very much. I can almost hear the little pipsqueak going, ooh, only in a slightly more manlier tone, possibly, depending on how much alcohol content there is, and that even is debatable itself. Still, though, Brewster now rounding outside still of Sovic. Sovic not giving up on that 8th position. This all to the tune of Philip Morby, who's getting away because of this. So 8th to about 8th to 18th, all in one line, and 4.5 seconds covering 11 cars. So through goes Brewster, Sovic, Melowish, Jacobs, Kirk, Maspero, and it's Kirk and Jacobs side by side. Jacobs gone running outside of Kirk. Is he going to keep it for 11th and 12th? It looks like he is. And same with Melowish, has gone round the inside of Sovic for turn 2 to get him for free up to 9th position. So is Scott Sovic the bottle cork here? We'll soon find out. So Jacobs 11, then Kirk 12, Maspero, Muru, Fleming, Richards, then Robertson and Joseph still at the back of this, and there's a 4-second gap back to Neil Wood and Timu Toika and Lewis McGlade battling out for the last points positions. We are almost at a quarter distance, 15 minutes nearly gone. About 12.5, 13 in. And it's still Palm, 3.5 seconds clear from Hardwick. Muru, who's still got Riccardo for measure in 3rd and 4th position. Then Ballard is in 5th position, Williams in 6th. Then we've got this almighty clash behind Morby. And Morby, as soon as Brewster and Melowish have been able to get clear air, they're eating into him quite quickly as Maspero goes round Muru. Muru off wide, 14th. That will be troublesome. He gets back in before Fleming and Richards. Look at them two going at it. Stuart Fleming hocking it right up the inside for turn 3. Beautiful move there from the Team 4 drivers. I am missing the Iron Brew cars. I hear they are missing the Durex sponsored cars because the amount of jokes I made on that was ridiculous. As that's Kirk off the track, he's rejoined in 16th position. Let me just do a quick little see to see what happened. Was he helped or did he do it? No, he done it on his own. Completely missed the braking there for the final curve. Real shame there for the Kirkmeister. Down into turn 1. Immediately on the attack for Matt Richards, and who's that off wide? That is Maspero in 12th position. Reinu Muru may well punish him down into turn 2. Indeed he does, climbing all over the curb like a fat thing over chocolate. And Maspero, quite a 4-wheel drift on the exit. I love the way you can drift these cars round. And Matt Richards goes round the outside of Stuart Fleming and takes 14th position, but he's ran out wide and not straddling a curb down the straight. A, it's going to chafe. B, it's not great for straight line speed, and that's a problem for him. As Simon Melowish goes around the outside of Brewster on the final turn for 8th and 9th positions as well. All change here on GRC. This is why we love this lead. This is why it's such a shame to see it go. Brewster and Melowish. Can Brewster get it back? I think he does. Melowish is going for the switcheroo. Can he do it? Oh, he's got great traction out of turn 1. The inside line for 2. Has Mr. Melowish done the old switcheroo? Can he make it stick? Yes, he can. Brewster's going to hang on around the outside like the Bowser he is. Jacobs is going for Sovic behind for 10 and 11. as well, so plenty of action going on there. But Jacobs keeps it, Sovic down to 12. Then it's Muru, who's well ahead of Maspero, Richards, Fleming, Kirk, Robertson and Joseph. And actually Timu Toeka has got round Bennett McGlade, and that's because Neil Wood's been off the track. He's dropped down to 23rd behind that lot. So Toeka's kind of sprung himself up and is closing down on this lot quite quickly. So God knows what will happen when the old Timu gets involved. Still up front, Hard, 3.6 seconds clear from Hardwick. Muru and Bracalo still nose to tail, but Bracalo's not really doing many of the do-or-die moves. I've got my bead little eye on that. I do look like I've been in some kind of car accident because my eyes are a bit crisscrossed. But nothing's going on massively with Muru and Bracalo. As soon as it does, I shall ping my beanies back to them. Same with Ballard. He's well clear of Williams. He's well clear of Morby, but Morby no longer well clear of Mellowish and Brewster. And we saw Morby with his somewhat Beyonce rear end. It just kept growing and growing and growing and growing, like a hot air balloon by the time they got down to their curbs. But Morby tardy on exit. Mellowish is setting up for essentially exactly what he done to Brewster. Going to kind of feign a move down for one. No, he's going for the outside so that you can get the maximum exit out from one and have the best traction for two. And it's working a treat. Morby this time cannot chop across because he's already there. And that is a textbook move there by Monsieur Cameraman Extraordinaire, and I think that deserves a because frankly Morby slightly wrong-footed. Is the Bowser going through up to 9th? 8th, sorry? Nope. Side by side they go, Brewster behind. Really, if they all take each other off, that's going to be a TSA problem as Brewster nearly goes off actually trying to get round Morby. Through he goes, Jacobs next through, and I feel that Philip may well tumble down the field. He's not always been the strongest of the TSA guys out there. It's normally a kind of battle between a couple of others as they sort themselves out. Slightly further back, Maspero and Richards side by side for 13th and 14th. Maspero holds on. Matt Richards really showing well. Maspero's in the gravel. Oh, dearie me. Manages to hold that up. Smacks the 100-metre boards. That may bugger up a few people. As that sorts each other out. Oh, dearie me. I do like to see some kind of drama llamas down there, if at all possible. And Brewster's off as well. He's down to 11, so he's lost out to Sovic. Scott Sovic goes through up into 10th position. Jacobs has passed the pair of them, is in 9th. Morby still bottle corking. I swear, as Mr. Jacobs, don't take out your teammates. Jacobs coming on the inside. Morby, don't take off your teammates, otherwise you won't be racing for TSA. Yes, Jacobs does get through, obviously heeding my dulcet tones, as it were. Morby through. Stovic then to 10, Brewster 11, Muru 12. Still no changes going on up front. Bracalo's basically shadowing Muru like some kind of, I was going to say, puppet, but that is a bit derogatory. The quintet through, Jacobs, Morby, Sovic, Brewster and Muru. Beautifully done there. Richards doing a tank slapper on the exit in 13th. He'll be back on this in no time at all. Like Simon all over a flavoured condom. And Jacobs takes a different line into turn one actually.
What flavour, Simon?
Oh, I don't know what flavour. As Sovic gets all crossed up and through goes Brewster, and Reinu Muru may have a penalising for him as well, because Sovic has been very generous down into turn 2 and it's to make it kind of filtered back up again. I had a really bad experience with bubblegum flavoured.
Right.
It's because when you taste something that's bubblegum, you just want to chew. Never good.
Yeah. I'll avoid that one then.
It was like having a sweet flavoured Savoy. What I'm going to say.
Oh.
As Brewster's in the pits. Oh dear. So, first one in, pit stops of course, mandatory and required. So the Bowser is in, and that's the first one I've really seen. I wonder if he's come into, yeah, Is he in for tyres? Yes, he is indeed. So first man in. Palm still leads 3.8 seconds from Hardwick. Moore and Bracalo have actually spread out to a second. That's the furthest apart they've been so far. As Maspero is gone through up into 12th position. Stuart Fleming there in a bit of trouble. James Kirk up to 14. Twicker. Who is that that's dropped down the order then? Someone's off. Oh, Scott Sovic in 21st position in the gravel by quite an amazing way actually. My replay doesn't actually show how he entered the gravel, but he's certainly still in there, all on his own there, wide onto turn 2. He's been taking a wider line than most. Unfortunately, that one's a wee bit too wide. The pace would be a wide boy, I've noticed, in sim racing. As the order then, as pit stops start to become among us, still Palm from Hardwick, Muru, Bacalo, Ballard, Williams, Melhuish, then Jacobs, Morby and Rainu Muru now up to 10th position. It's taken him a while to get there. There's Borsovic still having a skinny dipping session in the old kitty litter. Although whenever I think of kitty litters, I always imagine drivers getting up and taking a little leak in there. So
you're the only one.
A little bit wet. Well, kitty litter. I don't know. In my head, it makes so much sense. Just like a shake of the maraca. As Maspero is shaking out his rear end like some kind of shake-a-thon. See, I got these maracas out because I was hoping people like Lara Martinez would be back so that I could do some, I don't know, some Latino-y moves. And now, it doesn't quite sound the same when I'm going, Stuart Fleming, arriba, as that's Philip Morby off the track in 9th position. Oh, dearie me. Back on, still in 9th. Matt Richards holding off Muru, and he goes through for 10th place. Great stuff there by Matt Richards in the Aria Stream Motorsport car. Maspero then 12th, then Fleming, Toyka. Lee McLaughlin's in 15th position. Dave Robertson has just overtaken Lewis McGlade for 16th and 17th. Lewis McGlade, who I've had the pleasure of having him in a TeamSpeak channel. Needed to finish that sentence.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I'll leave that there. Scott Bennett in 18th position. Neil Wood still in the points. Points make charity prizes. Ching! Not Dale Winton related. Who's in the pits this time, by? Because someone's dropping down the order like a stone. It's Rainu Muru who is in the pits and taking up a thirsty tank of fuel. I think James Kirk may have pitted as well because he's down to 21st position. Lewis McGlade in too for Aurora Motorsports. Still 25 runners and riders remaining. Chris Williamson is the last of them. Scott Sovic has got going in 24th position and is ahead of Chris. So those two that have been skinny dipping are still going. Ben Walters though has disappeared off of my track altogether, but he's showing 23rd, so I wonder if he's disconnected somewhere along the line. As Rainu Muru comes out and he's behind Cameron Brewster in 18th position. Oh, that's where Ben Walters is. He was so far off in the gravel I couldn't see him. He's inching forward, but so it reminds me, anyone played that game, Hungry Hungry Hippos, where you've got to like proper bash the little hippo and eat all of it? It reminds me of that. He's like poking his head forward. It's like, Gumball, Gumball.
Oh.
So Brewster up to 18th, ahead of Ruru in 19th, Kirk 20th, Bracalo in the pits and rejoining in 14th position. It's going to be key to see where he comes out. Bennett's up ahead, Neil Wood is behind. That is beautiful clean air there for Bracalo. And that Lee McLaughlin's in the barriers and has just retired, smashed them into turn 1. 15th position he's showing at the moment. And that is drama llama for him. And look at that, Hardwick and Robertson sharing a pit box in the pits. Is Hardwick actually getting a pit stop? I tell you what, they could be sharing all kinds. No, Hardwick's flashing his lights. I don't think he's got the pits. Oh no, is Oscar going to lose position? Let's look at that, Robertson, Jacobs in, Ballard in, Williams in, Melhuish in. This pit lane is not built for so much stuff. This is like someone doing a McDonald's drive-through when it's buy one get 5 free. Only the fatties survive. As Ballard gets it going again, this is all changing the order. Palm still going, wisely avoiding the busy period. Randimur is still in second, he goes round. Morby's in third ahead of Matt Richards. They are having a right ding-dong. Someone get them some handbags. Then it's Maspero in 5 ahead of Toyka, Fleming, Bennett, Bracalo and Wood is getting some for 10th position. Great stuff there, Charity.
I knew it was coming.
Mate. Ballard, I tell you what, I knew it was coming as well, but not in that fashion. Milliwish out ahead of Matthew Williams So that's actually a swappy position as well. As who's that in the pits? It's going to be Morby and Fleming. So they're all in there, which is Favaroo. So, who's in this time? Bracalo goes through and up the positions. The problem with Bracalo, as Ben Walters comes out of the pits and blocks him on entry, is that he's now caught Scott Bennett. So that's not going to help him, but Oscar Hardwick is now so far down the field because he could not get in to have a pit stop whilst everything was going on. And Lewis McGlade's just crashed out. Lewis McGlade out of the pit race. He's crashed out on lap 27 of the Grand Prix. And Hardwick is exactly 1 lap behind Randy Muru. Jiminy Crickets. How things change. They were scrappling for each other, but in a completely different fashion. So,
Yeah.
there we go. Christopher Matuis or Kamikaze just talking about on Twitter, hard times there for Hardwick. Boom. In fact, I'm going to award that crap joke of the race award.
We haven't finished yet.
Harm? No, I've not finished yet. There's plenty more shit that can come out my gob. And I really intend to spew it. As Palm continues on ahead of Randy Muru now that he has pitted. 7.5 seconds his advantage. He's let Hardwick go, actually, to unlap himself. Let's hope he doesn't get a penalty, because it's very hard to get away, actually, because the difference between the cars, you saw the top 22 were covered by 1.5 seconds. Blue flags are going to be a flag. Then it's Matt Richards then in 3rd position, still yet to pit, as has Aaron Rispero and Timu Toika, who's actually caught the back of that scrappery. So good innings there for Timu. He's got himself onto the back of that. Bennett is still going in 6th, but Bracalo is in 7th and still trying to get through. Pit stop affected, obviously, but look at Bracalo. He's getting frustrated. He's going to pull out on Bennett and slam it down the inside. And Bennett will probably... Oh, Bennett gives him an all kind of love nudge there. And I tell you what, that reminds me of when you lock heads at the beginning of a rugby match. Only pixel format. Either that or you've just got big bull horns and you just want to lock them. So Bennett down to 7th position. Doesn't look like he's giving that one up actually either. Ballard's in 8, he has pitted, as has Melowish in 9. Williams in 10 has 2. Hardwick 11th position.
Off.
And now on lap. And who's that off? That is Bennett.
Bennett.
I wonder if that means that tyres have gone. Not pitting. Okay, Timu's in from what was 3rd position. Palm goes to 3rd, Bracalo to 4, Bennett to 5, Ballard to 6. Matt Richards is also in the pits as well. Now Toika and Richards were effectively at the bookends of a 3-way battle, and there you can see they've stayed out longer, and look at how they all streamed through. Through went Hardwick, Jacobs, Brewster, Muru, Kirk, and Richards and Toika are going to rejoin on the back of that, just ahead of Paul Joseph if Toika can do it. Can he do it? No, Paul Joseph's going to go around the outside, side by side for 15th position. Toika versus Joseph. Joseph does discretion as the better part of valour. Stays behind the Nordic friend of many.
Well, he's only got one friend, I hear.
That's why I said friend of many.
Oh, I see.
And who's that in? That is Aaron Maspero in this time round. Well, Maspero 41 according to his birth certificate. Bennett's in as well. Everyone breathed a slight sigh of relief as Randy Muru then takes the lead. What's happened to Palm? What has happened to Palm? Last lap round, he done a 1:23.282. He's in 2nd. And Randy Muru is leading. Randy Muru's not pitted. That's why. Sorry, Palm's been in. I thought Randy Muru hadn't pitted yet.
We're so
Don't
good
mind
at this.
me. So it's just because where they were so far ahead of the competition, that's why. Because it was 3 had pulled so far away. So Randy Muru still leads the way then at the halfway mark. So he's clearly going for a one-stopper. However, I think some other people may be going for a double entendre. He's trying to pop a lap on Ben Walters, who's not really getting out of the way just yet. He is, unfortunately, last, 3 laps apart from our leader, about to go 4 down. But he's not making it easy for our Estonian friend, And there we go, he does make it easy now, but then actually scares the TSA people. And look at Muru, so slow down into turn 2. Tom Jacobs, no, do not bash the leader. What are you doing? I don't care what's going on. You don't smack the leader, unfortunately, Tom. Don't busy passing judgment on your own GPVWC things. Unfortunately, that just makes you good stuff to be giving it back to you, my friend. So Muru keeps going round. They're all, whoa, Bennett! It had to bloody be Bennett, didn't it? Round in the middle. No! Oh, what are you doing? In front of Matt Richards. My goodness me. I know I've done it. I know I'm being very hypocritical here because I have decided to spin turn in front of the entire world. Practically naked, or maybe not naked. Missing some parts. But Benoit into the pits, and it's shaking up the order here for GRC. Bennett in 21st, going 2 down now. Sovic is in as well, and that's his second stop. So I wonder if there was some contact, because he'd already lost his front wing before, or front bumper before he'd even got to his stop position, so something had gone on. So he'd spun on his own, someone smacked him, I'm assuming Sovic. Matt Williams is also running round with no front bumper either, so there's been problems for Matthew Williams. He's still in 7th, with Brewster in 8th, and Hardwick has now got round these two, so he's now back up into 6th position and trying to push Simon Melhuish on. 2.5 seconds the gap between them, but look at the problems that Matt Williams is having, and they're being lapped now. And look at Tom Jacobs, he's trying to do the old sneaky I'll go through too. Matt Williams defends it. Muru's got to be so careful because these four are battling in their own race for 7th position. I love Brands Indy because there's so much of a traffic problem, and look at the smackaroo that's going on there. TSA are going to self-explode if they're not careful, and unfortunately that will be, well, 6 degrees of drama llamas going on, or 6 degrees of body parts flying across the fact. Never on a 6th axis. Need a 6th sense to get round this circuit because it is so tight. It's like a kidney bean, only, well, a racetrack kidney bean. When you see that, as Randy Muru finally pops in, 20.2 seconds the advantage, Palm is going to absolutely eat that up. And the reason why Palm is eating it up, he's swanning around in clear air, smoking a Swedish meatball as he comes across the line. Lap 36 he starts well off, and Muru actually is going to be under attack from Bracalo. He's not left the garage yet, and Bracalo had a slightly dodgy stop himself because of a poor entry and exit, and he's leapfrogged him purely because Muru has had the devil's advocate of traffic. So Bracalo to 2nd, Muru 3rd, Michael Ballard 4th position. He's been a sneaky wee squirrel, hasn't he? He's been sitting there doing get through, get through, get through, get through, get through, get through. No one notice me and stuff, so that he can get 4th position. Potential sniper podium when something goes wrong. Melhuish up into 5th position. Someone stop him. He's got a nosebleed. He's never been that high. Hardwick is in 6th place. Brewster still ahead of Muru for 7 and 8. They're battling like squabbling mooses. 9th, 10th, 11th and so on. So it's Jacobs. Kirk's now back up in there. Matthew Williams in his slightly stunted growth car is in 11th place. Ahead of Matt Richards, who's still got all his pieces together in 12th. He's obviously had that very late pit stop, didn't he? So he's got better tyres and is potentially able to go for a 2E stop, or maybe even try out a 1, depending on how these tanks last. I've not actually tried out how far these tanks can go. So Richards actually all over the back of Matthew Williams. The battle of the mats. Everyone go to carpet right, down into turn 1. What's going to happen? Richards round the outside. Richards cut off actually as they come down to 2, and there's something else that's just changed. Oh, it's Reinu Muru getting around Brewster for 7th position. Now's unable to attack on that one. Williams stays ahead of Richards for 11 and 12, but Muru crucially up to 7th place. He needed to get around. He spent basically the first 45-50 minutes of this race trying to get out of that squabble, and now that he's free he'll be able to do something about it. Richards and Williams, they've just swapped positions for 11th and 12th and swapped back again. And now Richards is back through up into 12th. And what is Timu doing in 13th position? That was just a They used like Jim Carnering round that final corner. I dread to think actually if what Tina would do with a Jim Carner event. I hear Grand Canyon is doable as they do stunt events off the side. So, pit stop's pretty much done now. Let's take a look at the order before attack 2 happens, and then we'll pick up on some battles. It's Martin Palm leading by 12.2 seconds from Il Trapacalo. He's 4 clear of Randy Muru in 3rd, who really lost out in the traffic. Matt Ballard is a further 2 seconds back in 4th position. Really impressive there by Michael Ballard. Sorry, not Matt. Everyone's a Matt. Everyone's a Matt. Matt. Old MacDonald had a Matt. E-I-E-I-O. So, Hardwick is in 6th position behind Melhuish and closing him in a little bit like Chubby Checkup. No, I don't know what that is. 7th position is Rainer Muru. He's still not dropped Brewster yet. The bows are clinging on like a floater that just won't go. Then it's Jacobs in 9. Kirk now up into the top 10. Matt Richards is closing him down quickly in 11. Timu Toika's just overtaken. Oh my goodness me, 4-wheel drifting through turn 1. Beautiful move, and that's going to allow Matt Williams to retake 12th position. Surely Timu gives him plenty of space so that he can still have a decent exit for 2 for 3, and that's actually paid dividends because it keeps him 12th position. Paul Joseph is just a further second back in 14th, and we're licking his lips together for finger licking good action if those two take each other off. Then Aaron Maspero in 15th place. Of course, he too had a very late pit stop. Stuart Fleming is the last unlapped runner in 16th place, although Martin Palm is just about to dive through on him. And right behind him is Philip Morby, who is down in 17th, and Fleming has been so generous with Palm. Morby's going to dive through too, surely. Fleming running the rim round the outside of the circuit. Morby goes through, and I've managed to do that myself as I'm lapped, as I often am. Sometimes people are so desperate to get out of the way, you can be a wee bit sneaky squirrel and steam one up the inside. We saw Jacobs trying to do it earlier, but that's really worked well for Morby. Something else has just changed. Paul Joseph has got round Williams for 13th and 14th position off your screens too. So keeping a rundown of the order, 18th position is Dave Robertson, 19th is Neil Wood, and he's about to be lapped by the Hardwick-Melhuish battle, and they've just swapped positions. Hardwick's gone through on that and taken 5th position from Melhuish. So, Cameraman Extraordinaire no longer in the top 5. Neil Wood still on for 19th and 2 points. Oh, Melhuish! Nope. No. You can have 5th position. Who remembers that? Back in the day. What?
90's good, aren't I?
90s? Oh God! I'm so old! There's no other old sim racers in the world. Oh dear. Bennett's in 20th position. So he's currently got the final point. If I've got one message really for Bennett, it is go faster, go faster, go faster, go faster, go faster, go faster. Because actually there's points at hand, and Scott Sofik is closing you down quite rapidly in 21st. Chris Williams is still going in 22nd position. Just about to go 3 laps down actually for the Nijo, the sole Nijo in the race. Ben Walters is our last running person in 23rd. 4 laps down, but he's a trooping on. So big stuff there for people that are still going 4 laps down and not giving up. That is the spirit of sim racing. I tell you, I know the spirit of sim racing. It's called the 108% rule. It's tough. You break through that paint barrier. You grab that extra 5 seconds that you've left off the table. You get into the qualifying session. It's these decisions in life that make me the man that I am. Yes, I suck. Aww. So, what dodgy didgeridoos have we got going on? Still the TSA squabble for 8th and 9th. Muru's still not really getting away. He's 1.1 seconds clear from Brewster, but still not really breaking that toe. Maspero is still in 13th, and he's got Matthew Williams closing him back down again. I think it's going to be really interesting to see the toing and throwing of different tyre strategies. Now, Philip Morby was our first man into the pits in 15th. Stuart Fleming was in a fair few laps later, actually. If I just take a look at the actual pit laps. So Morby came in on lap 27, and he's been quite quickly closed by Stuart Fleming, who isn't necessarily faster than him. Oh, well, he pitted on the same lap. That defeats any scientific object of any of that at all. So, you know what? Have a beer, everyone. Who said I'd done this for any scientific value at all? I hope that my potential new employer, where I'm supposed to be doing some professional podcast from now on, isn't listening to this either.
Well, you giving out advice for people to drink?
Shots for advice. So,
Shots for everything tonight.
shots for shots. Oh,
Oh, someone's in the gravel.
who's in the gravel?
Someone.
Is it Bennett? Oh, it is. No, it's not actually. He's just lost it actually. Chris Williamson has just overtaken him for 21st position. So Bennett has lost 2 positions very quickly there, because Sovic and Williams have gone through, and they were a fair bit behind actually. So things are starting to settle down ever so slightly before the second round of pit stops. This is probably the quietest it's been, and Matthew Williams is into the pits for his second stop. That's the first guy to do so actually. So it's Dave Robertson who's in the gravel for Team Core. Oh, Bracalo, careful, careful. He's nearly there though. I like the way how he's decided to not try and go against gravity either, and just keep going forward. So pretty.
Yeah, never go back.
All the love in the world there. And I do hope actually the Team Core duo do take themselves over to GPVWC, because there's some people who I've only really seen sim race in GRC. GRC was a very close-knit community. I already had the pleasure of racing and commentating here for several years, and it has been close and tight-knit and very introverted in a way, and I really do hope. I know that the decision was up to maybe merge and so on and so forth. I won't get into the politics of it, because quite frankly I get very bored of politics and a bit rubbish with them. I just want to have nice, happy, clean communities that go racing, enjoy themselves, have a good laugh on TeamSpeak afterwards, and preferably send me a setup, because I'm a bit clueless every now and then. If we can have that, we are jammy Dodger laughing. No. I don't know what Kamikaze is saying in the chat, but he did say, can I have some more rim shots before the night is over? Now this is meaning an entirely different concept to me as what it may do to the rest of the field. So I'll leave that up to cameraman extraordinaire as James Kirk and Cameron Brewster pop into the pits. Something's freaking out with... it's Paul Joseph. He's passed Vespero and is up at 11th and 12th positions because of all of that. So plenty of pit stops starting to happen. There won't be any more pit stops once they've completed this. Interestingly, James Kirk taking quite a bit longer in the pits than Brewster. Obviously, if you've taken some damage when you've taken you out on track, it is tin tops of course. You are going to gain plenty of time if you're able to turn that off. As Paul Joseph and Aaron Vespero battle for 10th and 11th positions. Joseph keeps it all together there. Still yet to pit obviously the pair of them, but the fact that they're nudging on the outskirts of the top 10, they're not too far, 7 seconds behind Toyka. To work together, sometimes it's better to work together as opposed to battle each other, because especially on a track like this you can just lose time. Hand over fist, being a wee bit selfish with the battle immediately ahead of you instead of thinking of the long game. Joseph and Vespero kind of leaving it until the home straight before Aaron decides to go nutty in one of the very few Lexi in the field actually.
Japanese Mercedes.
A Japanese Mercedes.
Yeah, Lexi.
Lexi. Ah, yeah. I wonder if they have Zen too. And to be honest, whenever I drove a Lexus, I found it bulky and awkward. I had to go with the Fords because it had high straight line speed, so that I could pretend to be good somewhere on the track, even if it was in a straight line.
Well, you should do that on the straight.
It is as Stuart Fleming comes into the pits, although even then I still managed to muck that up. And Melhuish is in from 6th position too. So some changes going on there. Who else is off into the pits? It's Tom Jacobs from 9th position, as it will be, now that he's into the pits. Toika's gone through, and Toika has caught Matt Richards actually for 6th and 7th position, so that's an interesting little squabble that could happen. And Paul Joseph is in too. So again, everyone pretty much pitting around the same time. I generally find that with these trophy races, people just like to try and run their entire tank of fuel. People don't seem to go too strategic on this. Yeah, don't really have much else to say on that. If everyone's doing it, you're not really losing out. If
Bennett's round
everyone else
again.
does it, as that is Scott Bennett showing off his rear end to everyone, clearly saying pick me, still in 20th position. Chris Williams, and I don't know if he's been into the pits or not, because Bennett is essentially half a lap ahead of him, so it would make sense if he has he? Yes, he has. He done a 1:26 2 laps ago, so that makes sense there. Gil Bracalo, 14 seconds now behind Palm, and he's into the pits. Muru continues on. Remember, Muru went long last time and paid for it with the traffic, so I wonder what he's going to try and do this time. I don't think anyone will be able to do a one-stopper. I think it's 2 all the way. Just depends on how far you can get there. But Bracalo into the pits. Hardwick back up into the podium for the time being, but remember, he's having to play the old catchy up. Bennett's really throwing that car around like it's some kind of filthy toy. Ballard's in problem. Yeah. Oh no, Ballard's stuck in the pit lane behind Bracalo. It's Hardwick all over again. And well, poor Michael Ballard. He's driven a faultless race so far, looking good for 4th place, being the old pretend bridesmaid's bridesmaid. What's that, flower girl? And then unfortunately, that could very well cost him 4th and put him in the firing line for Melhuish and Hardwick, and suddenly 4th place up for grabs for Oscar. Unfortunately, Oscars don't normally go that far down, as Toika is in 5th position currently at the moment, yet to stop. Bracalo has rejoined just behind him in 6th. Maspero 7, Melhuish is in 8th, very much on his own. Ballard's rejoined in 9th, but behind Melhuish, so Simon has already done his 2nd pit stop, so that will tell me that actually that has dropped him from 4th to 6th. Hardwick in the pits now from 3rd position, or what it was. Matt Richards has now popped up into it. In dizzy heights there, back in the podium for the Uriah Stream Motorsport car. Bracalo goes through. Toika's into the pits from 5th. Hardwick's trundling down the straight. Sparrow has yet to pit. He moves up. But Hardwick is going to leapfrog Ballard and Melhuish by quite a way. So Hardwick solidifies what will eventually be 4th place by the time they all pit. Beautiful stuff there. Ballard behind Melhuish. That is going to be an overtake waiting to happen in the last stretch of this GRC trophy race. Remember, this is the final countdown. Who's in the gravel? I can see them a little bit. Is it Bennett?
I just assumed.
No, it's Chris Williamson again for Nijo. Oh dear, that's going to change the battle for the wooden spoon. Because Ben Walters has just taken him. Ben Walters, as he's been last all the way through, no longer last. So, poor old Williams. Get out of the gravel, my friend. Because he'll put his foot in, he'll be fine, all is good. So, there's only actually 4 people on the lead lap, would you know, and by the time Matt Richards pits, he won't be. Such is the traffic and the attrition and the sorting out that goes on around this circuit. There's just a couple more people to make their stops before I give you a complete rundown of where everyone is, although Jacobs and Toika are battling over what is 11th and 12th position at the moment. Bruce is just up ahead. Muru has now pulled out a couple of seconds over Brewster, so it was worthwhile getting Alson ahead. Actually, it may be a little bit too late to pull too far away. Neil Woods in 14th position, actually, for his Speedway for scoliosis. That, I don't know, fear of schools.
I don't think it is, Smithy, no.
Well, I feel that a live Google may have to be for this.
I'm doing it now.
Scoliosis. Scoliosis surgery. Scoliosis of the spine.
Spine is
I've got
curved
back
from side to side.
What's that?
Spine is curved from side to side.
Oh,
So it goes in sort of. Yeah.
great.
I'll send you a
Charity
picture.
for benders. Love it.
Oh!
So,
Oh,
everyone,
my God.
it had to be said. It had to be said. And to be honest, there is only one person that could get away with that, and it would be me. So, Palm continues on his way. No, but I will donate, if at all possible, to that.
I think you need to now.
Yeah, no. I have my own cherries. Screw yous. As Maspero begins from... I provide musical accompaniment to
And
the
it's brilliant.
charity.
Yeah.
It is, it's love. So Maspero's in. He's going to rejoin behind Joseph. Oh dear, that's not going to work out well. So poor Joseph yoinking it up the field. Romping it. Mind you, he's yet to pit still, which is probably why he is romping it up the field like a filthy person. So just... Oh, Maspero's out. Maspero's out. That was a disconnection upon exit from the pits. What a shame there for Aaron Maspero. I was going to make sure that it was a disconnection. And... Oh no, he just exited the race. Aaron, you fool! You could have finished that one and been on the classification of the last race of GRC.
Bring Bennett to the mission.
Hello. Oh, Matt Richards. Matt Richards trying to basically get so far inside Scott Bennett in the pits. Oh dear. I think we may have just had GRC's first baby on stream. But that is really cost Matt Richards. He'd done so well to try and get back up the field. Real problems there. So, Scott Sovic making a quick nose at him. He's popped into 18th. So Matt Richards rejoining. Oh, he's going to come out with Sovic, I think. So through goes Kirk. Oh, Neil Woods nearly spins it in 13th position. That's going to allow Kirk through. Martin Park trying to lap all of this. 13th position then. Neil Wood yet to pit. He's a bit out of place from the rest of the field that's trying to battle round here. Through goes Kurt. Oh, in fact, he just... No, you're racing them. Neil.
Oh.
Passive aggressive is going to now rear end him.
No.
I see red. I see. Bendy spine. Oh, Kirk's off. Kirk's off. Warp speed. Not that way. Oh, and Richards. There, but thankfully giving him a little nudge to put him in the right direction. Into the pits comes Monsieur Palm, and he does have this race in the palm of his hand. So, yeah, it is in the palm of his hands though, to be quite honest. In fact, that probably needs a waka 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 waka, because I was so pleased with that terrible punnage. He's just come out as Ballard unlaps himself.
I don't think Muru has to pit again.
So Muru continues on. Now he pit. When did he pit?
About
Lap
28 minutes to go.
So he went to lap 36. It is going to... because that gets him to 72.
I think he can do it.
It is going to be touch and go whether Rando has possibly done the shockingest of shock. Could GRC have some kind of freak Tommy Tank problem? Not Tommy Tank. Oh,
Tommy Tank?
Oh no!
I mean Thomas Tank Engine.
Do you know? I had the xylophone in front of me, and it's just an inherent need to just go. No, 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 no. Right, I'm putting it down. I'm putting it down. Get away. Designed for 5-year-olds. Probably my intellect. So we'll see actually, because it's going to be down to how he can control the pace. He's got 5 seconds. 4.8 seconds through the last timing being between Muru and Palm. It's going to be so tight because he's going to have to manage the pace that they're going to have to hit this 1 hour mark bang on.
Yeah.
When Muru goes round, and that's going to be down to actually having to control your lap times round. I'm going to take a little look at this because this could be. Okay, so he's currently running 50.4, 50.4, 50.5, 50.4 as his last 4 rounds. And he's kind of got extreme consistency there by Muru. Slightly jealous, only slightly. Don't want to rip his head off. In fact, that consistency, that may be why I'm not so bad. Chris Williamson did get going in the end, by the way, in that Nijo. He's 7 laps down, like an inch, but still going. Detonating the car, so we've still got 22 runners and riders remaining in this Grand Prix.
Far is that? Do we know that?
We do know that.
That's alright, that's fine then.
I may have muted myself when that happened because I was busy saying that was fail of the race because he actually just left the game. And
That's okay.
Actually get what's his name on the classification list? This is the Lulu. This is the last. This is the last GRC.
Yeah, we've been saying that now.
It's sinking in. Palms off!
Palms off!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Keep it out the gravel.
Get it in the
Keep it out the gravel. Oh dearie me! All getting wrong there. And do you know what? That's another 2 seconds given to Muru. If he can slow down another 2 seconds, and that's a 2 seconds that gives him the lap he needs of extra fuel to get through, because this will just be short shifting now, and then maybe when you come up to the traffic you can just come off that throttle that smidgy bit earlier because you've got that slipstreaming action going on as you're lapping the cars. He's got a gaggle going on ahead of him. He's got Ben Walters who's running in 21st position, 5 laps down, about to go 6. Then he's got Simon Melhuish, who is just up ahead, still unlapped there. Mr. Melhuish, I think he'll be delighted with that. In 5th position, 7 seconds behind Hardwick, who's in 4th. Ricardo's still in 3rd. Palm 2nd, Muru in 1st. Still the question: can he pit or does? Can he go to the end or does he need to pit? Michael Ballard then 1 lap down in 6th. Ranu Muru is in 7th. Tom Jacobs is in 8th, ahead of Timu Toika 9, who's got round Brewster for that position. Brewster's in 10. And Timu is in a TSA sandwich. Try saying that after that a few. I think you're not giving me credits here. Yum yums. Paul Joseph is in 11th for Union Motorsport, delighted for that. Williams and Morby battling over 12th and 13th. Morby's going for it. That's teammate problems there for TSA Zip. I'll tell you what, it'll be lock, stock and zip and lock and share and everything and stuff. Yeah. As Williams keeps in 12th and Morby for 13th for the time being, but yeah, never trust a developer. I bet that car's got DLC locked inside it. You have to pay for it. Down the inside!
Nice move.
That was sneaky stuff, and he's got a good exit as well. Williams unable to try and get through. Beautifully executed there by the Morby. And, see, if I had a surname like Morby, I would probably want to make a children's TV show like a plasticine character.
I worry sometimes.
Why? Wouldn't you The Adventures of Morby?
It sounds quite sweet, okay.
Much better. Teletubbies, there's some child trapped in the sun. there's a purple alien who has a handbag fetish, and the red one that's Chinese is called Po. You so know it's going to end up in a Kung.
Oh wow!
It's just so wrong. James Kirk's been off the track somewhere on the line. He's back down in 16th position. He wasn't that far bound beforehand, so I don't know if he's had another excursion somewhere on the line. So yes, Morby then to 12. Williams now to 13. That's Hardwick going slowly. Is it? Oh no, sorry. That was just the trick of the... Oh, he's hit Matt Richards. You've done so well, Oscar. you're up into 4th. It's Richards actually kind of half trying to unlap himself a little bit because he's now got this TSA zip battle going on ahead, and Paul Joseph is just a couple of seconds further up the road, so it's all to play for. Palm is not able to go in, and we've hit the 1 hour mark.
No.
We've hit the 1 hour. Muru has not pitted. We've not quite hit the race distance thing, but what does he do? Because if you're sitting there with the clock, as Chris Williams was completely... that could have thrown a curveball if he'd have decided to go, pirouette, I want to be a ballerina. I can't really say Chris saying that, to be honest.
I think he can make it.
I want to be a ballerina. Not really how he talks.
Oh my god.
He's got such a low resonating voice. There was method to the madness as there's problems for... it's Richards and Williams swapping positions again, like some kind of wife swapping keys in the middle party. Still, we're on the 1 hour mark. That's as far as I can see because I can't click to race to see the actual thing. So we are right there. 53 seconds, so he's going to have to do another lap.
Yeah, I think he's got one more. I think he'll be alright.
Is he going slowly? My eyes are starting to will on some dramatic last minute finish. I need him to choke across the line. Sorry, it has to happen, and there'll be some kind of my car, water, well, petrol, and I'll be all like, Randy is dead, and then Palm will come across the line. It'll be like nose to tail, and no, I'll
This how you
feel like
dreamt
a
it?
school bell. Slightly. Slightly. Only there was a backmarker brigade car in here. Somewhere.
Of course, yeah.
So, Muru, last lap for trying. Sovic won't want to go. The clock strikes! The clock has striked! Dinner's ready! Dinner's ready! Jacobs takes Brewster off your screens for 9th and 10th positions. Toika's got round Kate Jacobs as well, so they've all changed there. But Randy Muru has pulled off the coup of GRC Season 15 by the fact that this is the only race for GRC Season 15. And Randy Muru wins the last ever GRC Gentlemen's Racing Club Grand Prix here at the Brands Hatch Indy circuit, and he celebrates with a lovely gravel bath.
Lovely.
Well done, Randu. He is an independent, of course, and that really keeps in with GRC in the way of its thinking. Martin Palm, a valiant second position, just 3.9 off in the end. Ilja Bracalo, ever the bridesmaid, all the time I've seen him in the wonderful GRC. Keeps up his tradition. That dress will get more wear out of it than any of those sandals he owns. The third. Fourth will be Oscar Hardwick, the last unlapped runner, apart from Simon Melhuish. Si, you raced, mate. You raced. Woo! I'm not telling you where those tassels are being shaped from.
Oh!
1 lap down then. Ballard, 6th position. Fantastic stuff for him. Reinu Muru, 7th place. Timu Toika will be 8th, 1 lap down. Tom Jacobs, top TSA driver, 9. Cameron Brewster, 10th, 1 lap down. Paul Joseph finishes the most experienced man in GRC and Union Motorsports Inc. in 11th. Shame we didn't have someone like Mr. Walker or something like giving him a backup. Then we've got Philip Morby in 12th place. Matt Richards 13, Matthew Williams in 14, Stuart Fleming 15, James Kirk 16. Then 2 laps down, Neil Wood, points and prize money, hopefully, raising charity for Speedway for scoliosis. Please do donate whatever you can to that fund. Having had a quick glance through it, it is a worthy cause. I know I've taken the mickey out of it, but it is to raise awareness, because actually the more I put it out there in a soft sell, it is psychology. It is psychology.
Yes.
I'm not trying to dig a bigger ditch.
I'm sure you are.
Well, a little bit too. But that'll be for you and me later to lie in.
Oh, lovely.
Brittany. Lulu. Scott Sovic, 18th position for Araya Stream. Not quite the top 10 that he had on the grid. Scott Bennett, that car looking slightly molested, but still 2 points for 19. And Dave Robertson, Team Core, grabs the final point. Oh, that's quite fitting. For 20th. He's 5 laps down. Bennett was 4. Ben Walters, 6 laps down for Aurora, 21st. And the final classification goes to Chris Williamson for Nijo. 8 laps down. That needs a... Woo! Yeah. Your retirements, Aaron Maspero, DNF. Lewis McGlade crashed. Lee McLaughlin crashed. Borna Spoljaric, his pit lane speed limiter got stuck. Joshua Anderson crashed out. Andy Griffith went for a skinny dip in the gravel and blew his engine. Matthew Allington disconnected, as did Miles Dixon, who went on the way to the grid. Those were your 30 starters. And wow, end of an era.
It is.
And yeah, I feel really, really privileged, despite having done my very best to make this some kind of disgusting stream possible. But I don't think you can't have some kind of send-off like that. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But it's been an
necessary.
absolute privilege to have commentated on GRC over the last few years. I was involved from season 8, so I didn't know the first half as it grew up as a wee bairn in the world. And maybe it came from, I don't know, the wonderful glades of the French Riviera. Who knows? So yes, thank you, admins. Can you tell I can't really play this instrument?
Yeah.
La, la, la. It's a bit like my singing. You give me a key and eventually I'll get there. So yes, we are going to be rumbling across to ITC. Please, 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 I beg of you, come along. Most of the community is coming over. Thank you so much to all of the admins who have helped build GRC over the years. Alex Sorchuk, Simon Melhuish, obviously he's been the person taking care of it for the last couple of years mostly. Mike Wrightson dealing with stuff. It's also been a privilege to have Aid Randall in and about. Oh god, now names are just I'm gonna have to go down the list. Sorry, I'm taking over for a second because I think there's some people that really deserve being mentioned. Alan Catini, he is another person that's dealt with a lot of the admin stuff on there as well. Let me just dive through world ranking. Okay, so people who deserve mentions from my little thing. Jeffrey Ruskus, pleasure to have been commentated on by you. Mike Wrightson, I've commentated with. Thank you very much for your efforts on that. Baz Award, the same. Jack Nichols, obviously, great to have you commentating in the room with us too. Who else is there as we scroll down? Paul Gardner, another man who has commentated with me on here. Marco Vandenbroek as well, who remembers that stupid tag team. I didn't know what on earth he was saying for half of it, so I didn't really pay much attention. Can you imagine the carnage that caused every Monday night? Oh dear. Plenty. Oh my god, I could go on forever. But thank you so much for everyone taking part. I don't think anyone's coming in particularly for a
They're all
chat.
scared.
Probably scared. So, I think it just leaves me to say thank you so much to Lewis, who stepped in to do broadcast to let our normal man trapped behind the scenes escape. Did you enjoy?
I did. First ever for GRC and the last, obviously, but hopefully I'll try and do the ITC with you lot. That'll be good fun. But thank you, Simon. Commentating?
You are very welcome. And I think the only way we can sign off in what has been a special, quote-unquote, broadcast this evening is to sign off with a little ditty that I've made.
Oh, lovely. I'm looking forward to this.
It's not that great. When I say made, I say ad-libbed.
Let's hear it then, come on.
GRC, I'm sorry to leave the GRC, I'm sorry to leave the, but you should come along to GPVWC. Yeah! GRC, come along with me. Come along It's all getting a bit Cookie Monster. Come on. With me.
I like that. It's good.
Doodles, everyone. Sign off. I will see you on ITC over at gpvwc.com. Take care.